What's up, beautiful people? Listen, Daruma, welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna be checking this video and it's titled "Brainwashed Biden Lover Gets a Lesson on Reality." Interesting. I'm excited to check this one out to hear what I've got to say. Let's check it out.
So I have this perspective that Biden has been a very historically dynamic president, like effective from a certain perspective, right? So his ability to pass the infrastructure bill, the CHIPS Act, and the Inflation Recovery Act within a historically divided Senate with a just one tiebreaker majority. I think that was pretty incredible, actually, from just a pure legislative perspective. Now, I know that plenty of people might not attribute that specifically to Biden, given the fact that there's a widespread perspective on his senility and stuff like that. And I'm willing to concede that. I don't think he's necessarily in the best mental condition, but his administration, right, I think has been historically impactful from the perspective of
Okay, so the inflation.
Wait, so judging from everything that he's saying, that Biden's administration have been impactful and all, I want to believe that he knows what he's saying, because it's obvious that lots of these people are brainwashed and lots of these people repeat the exact same talking point. Because now he's in college, and I just want to believe that he's not in college for college debt or whatever. But let's continue.
Okay, so the Inflation Reduction Act. Has it worked?
So, yeah, I think
inflation is worse than it's ever been.
It's a little bit of a misnomer, but inflation is not worse than it's ever been.
Well, the Fed has said, literally the Dallas Fed came out and said the reason inflation is going up is because of the Inflation Reduction Act.
Yeah, but we got up to 9% during the middle of the pandemic for the inflation rate, right? But currently right now, we're not at 9% inflation rate.
Yeah, but it's going up. They're not cutting rates.
Sure, but our prices, right? We'd never really
are outpacing inflation. Our wage growth is not correlating with inflation.
Oh, no, yeah, that's true. At this point, it's not correlating with inflation, but given the point that we are at the pandemic right now, right, the current wage, right, has still surged, and we would expect, right, during a period in which we're just recovering from a recession, that we wouldn't have quite caught up yet, right? However, I do think that the Inflation Recovery Act is definitely a misnomer.
Reduction Act.
Yeah, that bill was not meant to. I think it introduced $2 trillion worth.
Yeah,
of
how do you reduce inflation
by
introducing $2 trillion new dollars? Yeah.
But regardless, I think it did a lot of stuff and had a lot of provisions that were very beneficial from the Democratic perspective, like the investment into renewable energies. I'm just saying that if you come from the liberal perspective, right, that's a huge win politically for you.
No,
right?
My question is, why do people go to school or go to college on debt and they go dumber? What is the essence? You're going to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars and you're not going to learn to be smart. It's not even making sense. Honestly, it's not. How do you see things with your eyes wide open and still, well, of course, that's the leftist way of thinking. And obviously, he's just repeating what others have been saying or what he's been told. Because my question is it working? Is it working and going to school? Because that is what I want to know. Because obviously, except he's not the one paying his tuition fees and he's not working, then it may be a different case. It may just be following what others. But let's just be honest. You, in your own self, compare both administrations and everything that have been going on, which in your own view is better. But let's go on.
For you,
no,
right?
I totally get it. If you want to destroy the country, Joe Biden's been a great president for you.
Okay, yeah. So you think he's been a very dynamic president?
Well, I think he's been unbelievably effective at accelerating America's demise.
And you're saying that the people who are accelerating America's demise are the Democrats.
Of
so
course.
It's been a big win for the Democratic Party,
for example, how many people are coming across the border every day?
I think it's around 3,000?
10,000 a day.
10,000.
So it's triple what you thought.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is overseeing the largest invasion in American history, and you're cool with that.
So, no. I'm not cool with the border crisis, but I do think that the problem.
But he's doing nothing about it because he wants it.
One of the major issues with the border crisis, right, was the fact that the Republicans in order to forestall Ukrainian funding, wouldn't pass the bill that
has nothing to do with bills. It's all executive authority. Joe Biden did 55 things that he reversed from Trump. Remain in Mexico, reversing the asylum policy, no more deportations, no more background testing, no more DNA testing. It's nothing to do with legislation. It's just Joe Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas saying, come on into the country.
Wait.
So because Joe Biden wants the invasion.
Legislatively, was it not the case that the Republican Senate
It's nothing to do with it. Again, that bill has nothing to do with it. It's all executive power.
Did they not demand to have a bill for border funding and provisions?
Of course.
That would have Ukrainian funding.
Yes, and we should have done that. But Joe Biden himself, regardless of legislative action, has completely opened the southern border.
Why didn't we execute that bill?
Because it's an awful bill. It would have created amnesty, permanent work visas for people already here.
I was under the impression that Mike Johnson and the rest of the Republicans were willing to pass it up until the point that Trump called it off. No?
That's right. That's not right. No.
All right. No. Cool. Thank you so much, Charlie.
All right. Thanks.
Well, interesting. It's obvious he's just repeating talking points that he's heard or he's been told. And I always say that people who will go to school or college and they know that they're going to be paying hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially those who are not on scholarship, read your book. Read to understand and make sure that you understand both sides, not just only one side or see things one-sided. We understand like the society at this point is breeding people to think on one side or think to the side that is more preferable, especially the one that is common for people being on the woke side of things. But again, I always say it will be for your own good to pay tuition fee or to go on college debt and also learn the right knowledge, because obviously what they are being taught in some of these schools is not the right knowledge, because they just want to brainwash people with a certain ideology. But again, it's a great thing to have this conversation regardless of how it is. I always say people should have an open discussion, open conversation regardless. Everybody will not agree on things or everybody will not agree regardless, and people will still see things from their own point of view and still say they are right from their own point of view. The essence of having important conversations like this is so that you weigh things or see things from different angles and still agree to disagree and come on a common ground. But let me know what you think about this. What do you think about the Biden administration so far, and also Trump's administration? I would really love you to share that, because lots of people have different opinion regarding this. Some people still think Biden's administration is the best for them based on their stance and where they're coming from, while others think it is not favorable. But I would really love you to share that and share the useful information I think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.